Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, There and Pack Again. This is a second episode of the Singapore series. If you haven't watched part 1, make sure to check it out. I'll leave the link below. So if you remembered, last time I left the Jewel from Changi International Airport and was on my way to Gardens by the Bay. This is a large area where you can check out multiple attraction spots all at once. Plus, you get to enjoy the Marina Bay Sands Hotel in the background. So first of all, we visited Super Tree Grove. This is not only a cool structure, but also a place where they collect the rainwater and generate electricity to power the attractions in this area. And you'll see later that the attraction spots here are huge. The Super Tree Grove also has an observatory deck where you can go up to walk around and see the view of Singapore from up above. Since I came right before the Chinese New Year, they were also putting the decorations up. From the Super Tree Grove, we continued walking and passed through a food court area that's full of dinosaurs. Some stores are Michelin star awarded, and the dinosaurs looked very realistic. The skin is also pretty soft. Since I came here with a local, I had a bit more insights of what was going on here. Right now there is a special exhibition called Love the Last March. This is a sculpture that is 192 meters long and they're all about endangered animals marching in the garden. This is to celebrate and call for actions to take care of them. Note that these animals were somehow touching one another. To walk from the beginning to the end of the line, it takes about 5 minutes. See a walking tour by Red Star 19 here if you are interested. So what I really enjoyed here was not only the sculpture, but also how they blended the special exhibition into the existing garden and architecture. I like this spot since I get a cool picture with the Marina Bay Sands in the background and another sculpture of a buffalo as well as the view of the Super Tree Grove. They're also introducing little knowledge about the environment here too. For example, this is about the plants that can help clean the water. Up next, we went to buy tickets for 2 of the amazing indoor attractions, Flower Dome and Cloud Forest. With the time that we had, we went to Flower Dome first since it's bigger. There are gardens from multiple continents all around the world and tens of thousands of plants. As you enter, you are first greeted by these aloes in Wonderland. Curious by the names? Well, aloe is a relative of Alice who's in Wonderland, and the plant with the same name, aloe vera. In this section, there are a lot of succulents and cacti. As a desert plant lover myself, I really enjoy this part. There are also big trees with giant round trunks or caudex or codices in plural. I've been nurturing some plants like this, and I know to get the trunks as big as these, they have to grow them for years. Amazing, right? So here, because it's called Flower Dome, there are more than cacti and succulents, although cacti also produce amazing flowers and usually at night. In the spring, sometimes in Flower Dome, they imported tulips and other spring flowers in for people to see. During the season, it couldn't be anything more than exhibitions for Chinese New Year. So we walked down to the center of Flower Dome and was greeted by these cute lions. These lions are very common for celebrations in Chinese culture, including the New Year's, new houses, new weds, and new stores. Since the zodiac sign of this year is dragon, they also have a huge sculpture in the center, along with fishes and the undersea creatures. You may wonder what the under-the-sea creatures are doing out here. Well, the Chinese folklore has it said that dragons live under the water, so these other aquatic animals are within the theme. But wait, you can always expect the unexpected. There's a Christmas gnome left in the middle of poinsettia plants. The Christmas vibe is still around a little bit. To tell you the truth, they were in the middle of transitioning the exhibitions, but they did a great job keeping everything nice and tidy for the tourists. The plant parents here only have time after 4 p.m., which is when Flower Dome closes, to do their jobs each day taking care of the plant babies. You may notice here that there are other creatures made from the tree trunks or something like that hidden everywhere. Not only that, there are also lots of cool sculptures. I think these are more metallic. I found Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, and Christopher Robin very amusing. There is this goose with a golden egg from an Aesop story, and this interesting sculpture of tourists dragging their suitcases in the middle of the garden. They were missing the bodies, and I was told it's for people to simply imagine and think about traveling or something like that they can feel the image. Flower Dome has a lot to offer, but Cloud Forest is calling, especially if you didn't know I'm a bit of a cloud enthusiast, so I wanted to see what the other dome has to offer. Cloud Forest is like an enchanted tropical forest where you first walk in and are greeted by a giant waterfall. This isn't like the Jewel waterfall, but rather something more like a real one. Here we had the privilege to take the elevator, or as the Singaporeans and the British say, the lift. We took the lift up to the top and then walked down. Anyhow, there are more plants, of course, and these are ones that eat insects. They require more humidity than the rest of the plants, as in you're inside a man-made rainforest here. At the top of Cloud Forest, you are high enough to be able to see the Marina Bay Sands from across the street. I mean, the river. Not only that, the atmosphere here was pretty misty. It was kind of to replicate what it feels like inside a cloud. Yes, a cloud is just like tiny water droplets floating in the air all together, like the mists you see here, thick or thin depending on the conditions. As a cloud enthusiast, I really enjoyed walking here. I appreciate them trying to add another piece of knowledge about climate change and cloud, saying that as the world gets warmer, these beautiful clouds you see in Singapore and tropical forests would form at higher levels, leaving a lot of the beautiful plants like what you just saw here dry up. It's a really good way to show people how climate change would affect them. I don't know how many tourists pay attention to this, but I did, and I enjoyed seeing this so much. The path in Cloud Forest continued until we reached the ground level. At the end was a tiny theater showing you how climate change affects our lives even more. Storms, heat waves and droughts, shifts in seasons, you name it. The warmer it gets, the more severe. So we'd better start lowering emissions again now. And again, if you recall, at the Super Tree Grove, there are solar panels which are used to create electricity to power these two conservatories, Flower Dome and Cloud Forest. The rainwater collected at the top of the Super Tree Grove is also used to water the plants in these two domes. Anyways, I hope this didn't feel like a lecture. I only wanted to share with you what I deeply care about and orient my career path kind of around it. Well, up next, I will be going to the downtown area. I'll switch roles from a scientist or a cloud enthusiast to a historian, and you'll see many more cool things about Singapore. Please subscribe and stay tuned, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.